I think what really listeners not to turn our thoughts to Gaza, as painful and as horrific as it is to do so. But it does certainly focus people's minds when you take somebody like Corbyn, who has campaigned for the Palestinian people all his life, and you look back to 15 and 16 and 17, all the attacks on Jeremy and his leadership, and the wild allegations about racism and anti-Semitism, when of course now it's very, very clear that what this is actually about is Jeremy's foreign policy and his beliefs in relation to freedom in Palestine. Before what has happened in Gaza currently, the book was finished and the poem was in. And I think it's to your credit, Jeremy, that you've never ever abandoned your beliefs about Palestine. And it's fantastic that there is a poem about Palestine in the book. So I do think you should read that one, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Karie. What's happening in Gaza is unbelievable. We're watching in real time on television the destruction of a whole life, buildings, homes, schools, hospitals, everything. And our government cannot even bring itself to call for a ceasefire. And so many of our political leaders are incapable of doing that as well. I have spent a lot of time campaigning for the rights and justice of the Palestinian people. I've been 9 times to Palestine and to Israel and to Gaza, and Palestine in terms of the West Bank. The poem I've included in the book is called In Jerusalem by Mahmoud Darwish. Mahmoud Darwish died in 2008, so he hasn't seen the horrors of the latest stuff. And he grew up in a village that was then occupied by Israel in the formation of Israel. He was then went to live in Lebanon, was driven into Lebanon, then went back and grew up in Israel, and then went away from Israel to Russia. He joined the Communist Party in Israel, and he wrote in Hebrew and in Arabic and in French. And so he was very much a polymath in so many ways. And he was then banned because he had joined the PLO and supported the liberation of Palestine, then banned from ever going back to Jerusalem or ever going back to the West Bank. So he lived and died in exile. And this poem was written in 1974, which is, 7 years after the Six-Day War. And it's, in slight terms, a flight of the mind about Jerusalem as the place that Palestinians revere and believe to be their capital, and they're right, and it is a wonderful city. And so I just read part of this wonderful poem called In Jerusalem by Mahmoud Darwish. Read it all, thank you. In Jerusalem, and I mean within the ancient walls, I walk from one epoch to another without a memory to guide me. The prophets over there are sharing the history of the holy, ascending to heaven and returning less discouraged and melancholy, because love and peace are holy and are coming to town. I was walking down a slope and thinking to myself, how do the narrators disagree over what light said about a stone? Is it from a dimly lit stone that wars flare up? I walk in my sleep. I stare in my sleep. I see no one behind me. I see no one ahead of me. All this light is for me. I walk. I become lighter. I fly. Then I become another, transfigured. Words spout like grass from Isaiah's messenger's mouth. If you don't believe, you won't be safe. I walk as if I were another, and my wound a white biblical rose, and my hands like 2 doves on the cross hovering and carrying the earth. I don't walk, I fly. I become another, transfigured. No place and no time. So who am I? I am number 1 in the ascension's presence. But I think to myself, alone, the prophet Muhammad spoke classical Arabic. And then what? Then what? A woman soldier shouted. Is that you again? Didn't I kill you? I said, yes. You killed me. And I forgot, like you, to die.